Hello students. So as you all know that CBC schools are starting from Monday and state board schools are starting from 13th of this month. So I thought of helping our kids since you people are going to start the chapter now. Its vacation is over. So you are back to school. So I thought of helping by making this video. So I'm going to discuss the topic of grade 8. So maths, we are going to deal maths. So chapter I'm sorry, we are going to deal standard 8, and in standard 8 we are going to deal mathematics. So if you just we are going to discuss NCERT books. So standard 8 mathematics, the very first chapter of standard 8 mathematics is it's called a rational number. So chapter 1 of standard 8 is called a rational number. So before I come to this topic rational number, there are some definitions which must be known beforehand. So we are going to discuss those definitions first. So we'll come to rational numbers. Before that, you might have heard about different kind of numbers. So numbers is basically the counting, the numbers which we use for counting starts from 0 to infinity. So something, I mean, this is a system which we use to count something. So in this we'll talk about the very first is natural number. So we have a category, we have a section where we are including all the numbers which we are using to count something, and which is starting from 1. So the number system which is starting from 1 and it is going till infinity, because we don't know where the number is going to end. So the definition of natural number is very simple: the counting numbers, the numbers which we use to count something, and it starts with 1 and ends at infinity. So we don't know the upper limit of natural number. Then talking about the next type of number. So here in natural number we talk from 1. So 1, 2, 3 and goes on. So next category comes whole number. So what if I have to include 0 also? Because natural number does not talk about 0. So when I include 0 here, it becomes a whole number. So basically the meaning of whole number is complete. So when we include 0 in natural number, we get a complete set of numbers, and that is what we call whole number. So whole number starts from 0, 1, 2, and again it goes up to infinity. So that is what we mean. Whole basically means starts from 0. So whether it is a natural number or whole number, they both talk about 0 and positive numbers. Now again, when negative numbers came into existence, and when we thought of using negative numbers, then we thought of making one more category of numbers where we can accommodate negative numbers, because natural number, whether it is a natural number or whole number, both talk about only positive numbers with 0. So when we include the set of negative numbers, so that is what we refer integers. So integers are basically all the positive set of numbers that we have already discussed in natural number, whole number. Then integers also include all set of negative numbers, and especially I am mentioning this 0. Okay, So integers are nothing but it's a combination of the positive set of numbers, the negative set of numbers, and 0. So that is what we call integers. So if I have to write some examples of integers, so I can start with -4, then -3, then -2, then -1, then 0, 1, 2, and so on. So in both the directions, we can see here, in both the direction it can goes up to infinity. So in positive direction also it can goes up to infinity, and in negative direction also it can goes up to infinity. So that is what we call integers. So before we proceed ahead, let me revise what we have learned till now. So first one, we discussed natural number, the number which starts from 1 and it goes up to infinity. Then we talked about whole numbers, that is when we include 0 in natural number we get the complete set of numbers, and that is why we call it as a whole number. And when we talk about integers, so integers is basically the combination of all the positive set of integers, all the negative set of integers with 0. So that is what we call integers. Now why we are studying all this, because when we'll discuss a rational number, then you will come to know why we are discussing these different type of numbers. Now so apart from this there are other numbers as well, so that also we can discuss. So moving ahead, so next type of numbers are, one is called the prime number and the composite number. Prime number and composite number. Now to understand these two type of numbers, that is prime and composite, we need to understand the concept of factor. So in simple language, if I have to explain you what does factor mean, or what is the definition of factor. So very simple example, suppose if I have a number 15, okay, so the numbers, the other numbers, the set of numbers which can divide this 15 exactly. So when I use the word exactly, that means the remainder should be 0. So 1 is the number which can divide 15 exactly 15 times. Okay, so 1 will be called as the factor of 15. Again, 2 cannot divide 15 exactly, we'll get a remainder 1. Then again 3 is the number which can divide 15 exactly 5 times. 3 5s are 15. Similarly 5 can also divide. Then 15 can also divide 15. 15 can divide itself. 15 ones are 15. So if I have to write the factors of 15, so I can write factors of 15 is 1. See, whenever we write the factors of any number, remember, always remember, the factors, writing factors, the factor always starts with 1, because 1 is the factor of every number. So all the numbers appear in one's table, because 1 ones are 1, 1 twos are 2, 1 hundreds are 100. So all the numbers is going to come in one's table, right? So that is the reason 1 is the factor of every number. So whenever you're writing the factors of any number, please remember you have to start with 1. And also whenever we memorize any table, the table of any number starts with the number itself. So the table of 5 starts with 5 ones are 5. Table of 6 starts with 6 ones are 6. So table of any number starts with the number itself. That means the number divides itself. So whenever we write the factors, always remember we'll start with 1 and we'll end with the number itself. So here I'm writing the factor of 15. I will start with 1 and I will end with 15. In between, what all numbers can exactly divide 15, that I'm going to write here. So I saw 3 can divide 15 exactly. Also 5 can divide 15 exactly. So these are the factors of 15. Now why we discuss the concept of factor, because basically the prime number, we are going to discuss the concept of prime number and composite number. So if If factor is clear, then we can proceed ahead with the definition of prime number and composite number. So prime number basically means that if a number is having exactly two factors, we call it as a prime number. So suppose if I have to write examples here, so we can very well write. So examples of prime number we can write as, if I write 2 here, so 2 has just two factors, that is 1 and 2. Apart from this, there is no number which can divide 2 exactly. Then 3, again 3 has two factors, that is 1 and 3. Then 5 again has two factors, 1 and 5. Similarly 7 has again two factors, 1 and 7. I cannot write it because 8 has more than two factors, right? So the numbers which have exactly two factors, they are termed as prime numbers. So these numbers, that is 2, 3, 5, 7, then 11, all these numbers are having exactly two factors. Therefore, they are called prime numbers. So prime numbers basically means that they should have exactly two factors. But when we talk about the composite number, so composite number basically means that a number should have more than two factors. Composite number. So composite number basically means that more than two factors. So here suppose if I am writing the factors of 8, so the possible factors of 8 can be 1, 2, 4 and 8 and 8. So you can see here there are total 4 factors of 8, therefore it is called composite number. So very simple definition of prime and composite. Prime number basically means that a number having exactly two factors known as the prime number, and composite number means a number having exactly having more than two factors is composite number. So I hope till here it's fine, it's quite easy. And again I'm repeating why we are studying all these numbers, because if the concept of number system is clear, then only we can proceed with the rational number, the definition of a rational number. After that, we also have, you might have heard, even and odd numbers. So even numbers are the numbers which are divisible by 2. So numbers which are divisible by 2, we call them even number, and opposite of it we have odd number. So the definition of odd number is just opposite of 2, the number which are not divisible. So numbers which are not divisible. So if something is divisible, if any number is divisible by 2, we call it as even number. If it is not divisible, we call it as odd number. So here if I have to write examples, so I can write here 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So basically the numbers, we can say that multiples of 2, basically multiples of 2. So multiples of 2 are basically the even numbers. And here we can write the examples as, we'll begin with 3, then 5, then 7, then 9, then 11, and so on. Goes like this up to infinity, because these numbers does not appear in 2's table, or we can say that these numbers will not be exactly divisible by 2. So the concept of even and odd is, you just have to check if a number is divisible by 2, we call it as even number, and if a number is not divisible by 2, we call it as odd number. Very simple. Okay. After this we have one more type of number, and that is called co-prime number. Co-prime. Now this is also very important. So co-prime number basically means, see, co-prime number, don't go on the word prime. Co-prime basically means that a set of two numbers, if they are not having any other common factor apart from 1. Suppose if I'm writing 3 and 5, so if I write all the factors of 3, so all the factors of 3 are 1 and 3. So factors of 3 is 1 and 3, and factors of 5 are 1 and 5. We can see that both of these numbers have just 1 as a common factor. Apart from 1, they don't have any other common factor. But suppose if I am writing here, if I am writing 4 and 8 here, so what are the possible factors of 4? We have 1, 2, 4. So these three, there are total 3 factors of 4. Similarly, if I write the factors of 8, so factors of 8 are 1, 2, 4 and 8. Now here we can see, apart from 1, we also have 2 as a common factor and 4 as a common factor. So therefore 4 and 8 cannot be called as a co-prime number, but 3 and 5 will be called as a co-prime number. So co-prime number basically, it has nothing to do with the prime number. Co-prime number basically means that any two number, if you are having any two number and in between them, if one is the only common factor, then they can be called as a prime. So suppose if I am writing 5 and 8, so you can see here 5 is a prime but 8 is not prime. So again I am telling co-prime has nothing to do with the prime number. We just compare the factors of two given numbers. If both the numbers are having just one as a common factor, then we can call it as a co-prime number. So if I write the factors of 5 here, so factors of 5 are 1 and 5 and factors of 8 are 1 and 8. So again we can see here 5 and 8 just have 1 as a common factor apart from 1. There is no common factor between 5 and 8. Therefore I can say 5 and 8 is also a co-prime number. So I hope these definitions are clear, and if you really like this series, then stay tuned with me. Every day I will try and post a short video like this so that in continuity you can learn. And in the next video I'm going to explain the rational number. We'll start rational number in the next session, because this basic was required to study the definition of rational number. This basic was required, so that is the reason why I discussed all this. So next session we are going to start rational number. That is the first chapter of your maths. So students, bye bye, take care.